Are you kidding me? A woman that rebounds and shows up half naked to games. Again, in my view, if she doesn't clean up her behavior, she's gonna be part of the problem.
What would make a rookie risk everything for a competitive edge? Angel Reese's steroid scandal has the whole WNBA talking. Here's what really went down with the Chicago Sky's fallen star. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Guys, this is crazy. Angel Reese, the rookie everyone was hyped about, just got booted from the Chicago Sky. Why? Steroids. I know, it's wild. She was supposed to be the next big thing, the face of the franchise. Now she's the poster child for what not to do in the WNBA. Let's talk about how it all fell apart. Reese went from being the it girl to the girl everyone's talking about for all the wrong reasons. How does that even happen? You know what's crazier? We're about to break down Reese's roller coaster ride in the WNBA. It's got everything: talent, pressure, and one massive mistake that blew up her whole career. You won't believe how fast it all came crashing down. Everyone thought Reese was the missing piece for the Sky. Instead, she became the puzzle that didn't fit. How did such a promising start turn into the Sky's worst season in years? Let's break it down. Angel Reese entered the WNBA as a top draft pick, and the Chicago Sky couldn't have been more excited. They had high hopes for this rookie sensation, expecting her to be the game changer they needed. But sometimes, expectations can be a heavy burden. At first, Reese seemed to be living up to the hype. She was putting up impressive numbers, averaging 13.6 points and 13.1 rebounds per game. That's not just good, that's record-breaking stuff. She even set a new standard with 15 consecutive double-doubles. The Sky thought they had struck gold. But here's where things get messy. While Reese was racking up stats, the team's chemistry was falling apart faster than a house of cards in a windstorm. It wasn't just about the points anymore. The locker room was turning into a drama factory, and Reese was right in the middle of it. Imagine this. You've got a rookie who's supposed to be the future of your franchise, but instead of bringing the team together, she's tearing it apart. The trash talk was getting more attention than the actual gameplay. It was like watching a reality show instead of a basketball game. And the consequences, they hit hard. The Sky season went down faster than a lead balloon. They finished with a dismal 13-27 record, missing the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. That's not just bad, that's catastrophic for a team that was supposed to be on the rise. But here's the kicker. All this drama was just the tip of the iceberg. Behind the scenes, Reese's behavior was already raising more red flags than a bullfighting convention. Her teammates were starting to see cracks in the facade long before the big steroid bombshell dropped. You know what's crazy? Even with all this going on, the Sky's management was trying to keep it together. GM Jeff Pagliocco was out there telling everyone that their relationship with Reese was in a good spot. Talk about putting on a brave face, right?
So, in what was an absolutely crazy scenario, Teresa Weatherspoon just got fired. I don't know why they would do it. Maybe the Sky are saying, you know what, we're not building around Angel, but I don't know.
But the real shocker came when the Sky fired their coach, Teresa Weatherspoon. Reese didn't hold back, expressing her feelings about the whole situation. It was clear that she had an emotional connection to Weatherspoon.
In the capacity that I need them, but I've always believed everyone in your life for a reason and a season. You were the best. We built a relationship in a short amount of time. It will last forever. I'll never question God why he brings people in my life and takes them away from me.
And this just added more fuel to the already raging dumpster fire. So there you have it. Reese went from being the next big thing to the biggest headache in the WNBA faster than you can say double-double. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion, except this crash took an entire season. Just when you thought things couldn't get worse for Reese, they did. Imagine being on top of the world 1 minute and then throwing it all away the next. What drives a star player to make such a drastic choice? The pressure on Angel Reese was reaching a boiling point. She came into the league with sky-high expectations, but reality was hitting hard. While other rookies were breaking records and making headlines, Reese was struggling to find her footing. The stats that once seemed so impressive were starting to look hollow in the face of team failure.
She did play in the Sky's last game on Friday, finishing with 24 points and 12 boards in a win over the Sparks.
Goes out there, fights, gives it all she's got for her teammates every day, and they were relevant for a while before they went on this latest losing streak.
You've got to picture the scene. Reese is watching her dreams slip through her fingers. The team's losing, her performance is tanking, and every game feels like it's slipping further away from her. It's like being stuck in quicksand. The more she struggles, the deeper she sinks. So what does she do? In a moment of desperation, Reese makes a decision that'll change everything. She turns to steroids. Yeah, you heard that right. The golden girl of the WNBA, the one who was supposed to be the future of the league, decided to cheat. Now, you might be thinking, no way, not Reese. But it happened. The pressure to perform, to live up to the hype, it all became too much. She was watching other players soar while she was barely treading water. In her mind, she probably thought she was just leveling the playing field, but we all know that's not how it works. The thing is, this wasn't just about Reese anymore. Her decision to use performance-enhancing drugs didn't just put her career on the line, it threatened the integrity of the entire WNBA. This is a league that prides itself on hard work, skill, and fair play, and now one of its brightest stars was caught cheating. Imagine the shockwaves this sent through the league. Players, coaches, fans. Everyone was talking about it. The WNBA, which had been working so hard to build its reputation and grow its fan base, was suddenly dealing with a scandal that could undo years of progress. For Reese, the consequences were immediate and severe. Her career, which had once seemed so promising, was now in tatters. The Chicago Sky, the team that had pinned so many hopes on her, had no choice but to cut her loose. It wasn't just about losing a player, it was about protecting the team's reputation and the integrity of the sport. But the fallout didn't stop there. This scandal raised serious questions about the pressure young players face in professional sports. How much is too much? At what point does the drive to succeed cross a line? These are questions the WNBA and sports in general will be grappling with for a long time.
Reese has had a phenomenal first season, setting a WNBA record with 15 double-doubles.
Shocking. She had an incredible performance, 24 points, 12 boards in that matchup.
The saddest part of all this, Reese didn't need steroids to be great. She had the talent, the skill, the determination, but somewhere along the way, she lost sight of that. She let the pressure and the expectations cloud her judgment, and it cost her everything. You know what's really crazy? This whole situation could have been avoided if Reese had reached out for help. If she'd talked to her coaches or teammates about the pressure she was feeling, things might have turned out differently. But instead, she chose a path that not only ended her career, but also cast a shadow over the league she was supposed to help grow. But Reese's downfall was just the beginning. How does a league built on integrity recover from a scandal that threatens its very foundation? The WNBA's response to this crisis would determine not just Reese's fate, but the future of women's basketball itself. The news of Angel Reese's steroid use hit the Chicago Sky like a freight train. Imagine the shock and disbelief coursing through the organization. This wasn't just about one player making a bad choice. It was about the reputation of an entire franchise, and by extension, the whole WNBA. The Sky's management found themselves in an impossible situation. On one hand, they had invested heavily in Reese, both financially and emotionally. She was supposed to be their ticket to success, their beacon of hope for the future. But on the other hand, keeping her on the team after such a serious violation could tarnish their image beyond repair. You know what's wild? The pressure on the Sky to make the right call was immense. Every move they made was under the microscope. Fans, other teams, and the media were all watching, waiting to see how they'd handle this bombshell. In the end, the Chicago Sky made the tough decision to fire Angel Reese. It wasn't just about punishing one player, it was about sending a message to the entire league. Integrity matters, no matter how talented you are. The fallout was immediate and intense. The WNBA community was rocked to its core. Players, coaches, and fans alike were trying to process what had happened. How could someone with so much potential throw it all away? Sky GM Jeff Paliochka tried to put a positive spin on the situation, saying emotions were high for a few days, and we can respect that. But let's be real, this was more than just a few days of high emotions. This was a seismic shift in the WNBA landscape. You want to know what's really heartbreaking? Reese's reaction to the firing of her coach, Teresa Weatherspoon, earlier in the season. She had said, "I'm literally lost for words, knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life." Little did she know that her own actions would lead to an even more pivotal and painful moment in her career. The impact of this scandal went way beyond just Reese Reese and the Sky, it raised serious questions about the WNBA's ability to maintain its integrity and reputation. The league had always prided itself on being a beacon of fair play and hard work. Now, it was facing a crisis that threatened to undermine everything it stood for. Think about it. The WNBA was already fighting an uphill battle for recognition and respect in the sports world. A scandal like this could set them back years. It wasn't just about one player or one team anymore. It was about the credibility of women's basketball as a whole. The league had to act fast and decisively. They needed to show that they took this violation seriously, while also reassuring fans and sponsors that this was an isolated incident. It was a delicate balance, and the whole basketball world was watching to see how they'd handle it. You know what's crazy? This scandal didn't just affect the players on the court, it had ripple effects throughout the entire WNBA ecosystem. Sponsors were reconsidering their partnerships, fans were questioning their loyalty, and young aspiring players were left wondering if their heroes were really worth looking up to. In the midst of all this chaos, the WNBA had to find a way to move forward. They needed to turn this crisis into an opportunity to reaffirm their commitment to clean, fair competition. It was a moment that would define the league for years to come. Guys, Angel Reese's story is more than just a rookie messing up. It's about the crazy pressure these players face and what happens when you try to cheat the system. Think about it, Reese was on top of the world and now she's out of the league.
I'm heartbroken. I'm literally lost for words what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life. She was the only person that believed in me. And to say nobody believed in her is a bit of a strange one, but at the same time, look, I'd say nobody probably believed in her quite as much as Teresa Weatherspoon did.
You know what's wild? One bad choice wrecked years of hard work. Reese was heartbroken when her coach got fired, saying, "I'm literally lost for words knowing what this woman meant to me." But now she's the one who's gone. This whole mess shows that in sports, being good isn't enough. You've got to play fair too. So what's next for Reese? Can she bounce back? And how's the WNBA going to recover from this mess? It's like the whole league just got dunked on, and now they've got to figure out how to get back in the game.